up and do those things for black women and girls, I think we would have a lot less women and girls coming up missing and a whole host of other tragedies that happen to black women and girls. Since you made it an issue. So anyway, Al says, eat unhealthy and get fat so the thug won't be able to lift you when you're hurt. You know what, Al? Grow up. And Pep says, speak on it. And Didi says, black men are the fathers of the community. Donovan needs to tell Ray Ray what's up. Even if Ray Ray don't have a father in the home, black men needs to get back to raising a community of black men coming up. And she's right.
Okay, wait a minute. I have to address that.
Okay.
Now, on the show, when I talk, I'm talking in general of what the average black man would say.
Right.
Okay? In my community, even though me and Dee, we play yin and yang to make the show kind of...
Salt and pepper, vinegar, oil and water.
Right. Yeah, salty chips. Ike and Tina. That's what we play. In my community, I am known as the guy that will go to these young men and tell them what's up.
I will say that is true for Donovan. I don't know what he owned today, but that is true for Donovan. And let's see here. And Tay says, people supporting R. Kelly is a moral and values issue. When we value a beat over the welfare of our daughters, that is a problem that needs to be addressed. Absolutely. But to that point, that's what the investigative reporter was saying. Yeah. I found that black women and girls are not cared about at all.
At all.
Like the things that he was, accused of doing, people should be upset about this stuff. And people are like, well, shoot.
His music is God, I don't care.
I can't be mad at that.
And then wait, and then some of the girls in the current situation, you have parents that took their child down there to meet the man after the allegation. The guy had just got done beating the case.
Let me say this, okay? Hypothetically speaking, what would have happened? Because I know there's a lot of men who knew about R. Kelly, okay? What would have happened if one of those men would have beat his ass?
Oh, yeah, everybody would have been in.
But I'm saying if they'd have beat his ass a long time ago and said, not on our watch, you touch one of these girls again, then you're going to have more problems than you have now, it might have stopped. Now, I'm not saying it's you guys' fault, but what I'm saying is, while we are saying that all the girls was, crazy over R. Kelly and this, that, and the other, well, there's a lot of men who knew what he was doing, too, and nobody thought to put a foot to his ass, And then Marcus says, the fact that black men are the ones selling black women, it itself shows how the black man is failing the black family. We don't look at the harsh reality of how white men treat black women. The harsh reality of how white men treat black women and children, because they know that at the end of the day, there will be no retaliation for the mass majority of black men from you guys. And that is just a fact.
Right.
That is a fact.
Public service announcement real quick.
Sure.
For those of you guys that are on Facebook jail or whatever, you can still IM message into the show if you want to. Donald Ray Malloyd, my brother, he says, be advised.
Oh, is he in Facebook jail?
I'm watching y'all again. I'm in jail. So he can't respond. Man. But you can go ahead and IM in message.
Do he need some money on his books?
Yeah, you need some money on your... Well, no, then he'll be asking me.
You need some money on your books. And Tay says, I remember my granddaddy and great-granddaddy would always stop and talk to the young black men when they walk the block. And you know what? That is true for my dad. This man, I don't care where we go. He gonna talk to everybody. What's happening, brother? Hey, sister. He always speaking to people. You got a beautiful smile. So that's what we need more of. And excuse the noise. The neighbors are doing some construction on a Sunday afternoon. And Al says, if you are treated unfairly in a business, don't take yourself back in the business so the black man doesn't come up missing in the system because he tried to protect you. Well, I think that is admirable for a black man to do. And speaking, and there's a lot of examples of black men protecting black women, but I just like to go back to the more recent one of Tyrone Muhammad, the one that threw the bricks through the windows and caught a case. And he said, I know I'm going to jail, but I want to prove a point to these people, the Asians that are in the neighborhood, that you're not going to keep coming in here brutalizing our women as we as black men walk up and down the neighborhood, and we know it. Like, those men should be deathly afraid to put their hands on
a black woman, right?
And you guys, the video is trending on Popeyes where a white lady, I guess she went into the establishment, acting stupid, called him a nigga,
and she got dropped.
Yes. Now, I guarantee you,
he's going to catch a case.
The dude has already caught a case for a body slammer, but I guarantee you, her people going to go in there and raise some hell.
Penalty. Yeah,
I guarantee you. And she was way out of line. Yeah. Hey, Curtis, what's
and then,
happening?
let's talk about the guy at the nail salon. The guy did the protest, and the sister came out of line and yelled at I'm not making excuses.
We got a lot of work to do. We
right.
got a lot
on
of work
both
to do.
sides,
Yes.
men and women. I mean, we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't.
Well, continue to do it because you're doing it for some women. Maybe not those women who are standing in line still after
curse the guy out and he's
after
out there.
the owner, beat up the black woman.
Right.
That ain't all black women. There's some black
exactly.
women who stayed away. You know what I mean? And Didi says, then why in the hell you got crap coming out your mouth talking about... Ryan's going to say, I don't know what he on today. Mm-hmm. And Jonelle says, the Honorable Minister of Archon teaches any man or woman that will engage in self-destruction will easily engage in self-destruction of others. We are lacking self-love, and that's why we are... that's why we are... allowing our women, girls, and children and babies to come up missing. Love protects what it loves. See how we fight for Popeye's chicken and all other crazy crap that we love and die for more than self or our women, self-love and self-empowerment. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's just a fact.
Right. Now, Didi, I'm just going to address Didi real quick. Again, the show, Didi can sit on this show and just espouse her views and stuff like that, but what we try to do is we try to play both angles to get everybody conversating and getting them in the conversation.
He tries to get my blood pressure up. That's what he tried to do.
So. But, I do have an opinion. Like I said, everybody knows I'm an Ike Turner follower. I think that this man is instrumental in creating successful black women. It's the Book of Ike. I just follow. I'm a follower. I'm a believer.
Didi says money drives motive.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. And unfortunately, this all ties back into, check us out on Fridays, Free for Friday. We talk about this all the time. As the wealth gap gets greater, how many of our black women do you think are going to end up missing more so as they got to go sell ass or whatever they're going to be doing to survive?
And
13 years, the wealth of the black community is going to be zero.
Right. And, and I'm glad you actually made that point because, there are, and I know in LA alone, black women are the most prostituted. I guess I'm trying to find a way to say that, but the rise of black women in prostitution is growing, if you will. The rate of prostitution in black women is growing, and it is said that the most prostitutes in Los Angeles County are black women. And so black women, well, hell, probably
and
men too.
Yeah, men
but
too.
to your point, if we don't start practicing group economics, right. Putting our dollars together, spending with each other, and just recycle the money.
Getting our businesses together to start buying communities.
It's going to get worse. And there's going to be a lot, like to his point, a lot more of us missing.
And we're not just talking about like snatched up. We're talking about the fastest growing demographic in the prison population are black women.
Right.
For nonviolent offenses, prostitution, drugs, and whatever.
Right. And so, people at the end of the day they're not going to starve. They're going to do what they need to do. Right. And so we need to fix it, spitting all this, fix it on this end so that those problems don't get worse. And Al says R. Kelly should have been dealt with long ago.
Yes.
I don't feel sorry for him.
And again, I don't like the put the nomus always on the woman. However, you've got these young boys out there and you women that are watching the show and listening to the show on the podcast. I know you don't want to agree with it. That's your king and all this other stuff. And, you don't want him to do this. You don't want him to do that. However, I have two nieces. I feel very sorry for my nieces for the simple fact that some of the guys that are out there that I see that they have to deal with can't do shit.
Well, we got to change that.
Exactly. So the nomus isn't just on the females. If you're a female and you've got sons, I'll give you a better example. Shantae has two very upstanding sons, and they had their fathers and stuff like that. But all in all, Shantae raised them, in her community of her family. Mm-hmm. And these boys are very prestigious. They're educated. They're driven. So having the father there or not, that really isn't important as long as you got that positive male role model in some aspect.
Right.
So It's on both sides.
Agreed. And Mildred says there's little accountability and responsibility. Absolutely. Yeah. And Jonelle says nowadays they're blocking my page and not allowing me to share posts until January. Really?
Yeah, they're doing that now.
That's petty when it comes to the truth and our self-love, which shows the power of our self-love. Absolutely. Yeah. Now, I've actually saw an article. I didn't read it yet. They're saying that Facebook, a lot of employees have left due to racism and discrimination. Well, I mean, you know.
Yeah. Service announcement. YouTube, Facebook, all these, Instagram, all these things, they are now censoring what they want. It's funny how they don't censor when the white people say nigger, 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 or stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, you can see
but the minute that we say the truth,
right,
we're being censored.
Right.
Thus, my brother's in jail right now for responding to something.
And Al says, in the Barbershop movie, the community went against Ice Cube, who wanted crime to stop. Yeah, sometimes we do go against our better interests. And Marcus says, truth is, black men rarely fall in love with black women. Most black men fall in love with black kitty cat, and who is in control of the whole. If it was love of the woman, most men would not be putting their stick next door down the street.
True. I mean, there's some facts to that. Yeah, can't say it's true.
Yeah.
There's some facts.
No, absolutely. I get it. If you really love somebody, you wouldn't be, putting that thing all over the place. You keep it in one spot. Absolutely, 100% agreed. If you guys are watching on the watch parties, please come over to this page so I can see your comments. And Alice's best example of black woman not missing is Demetra. Thank you, Donovan, for looking out and taking care of D. Appreciate you, my brother. Yes.
Yeah, look, because D is all over the Southern California. She a little bit over here, she a little bit over there. Just making it happen. So I got to keep calling and say, where you at? What's going on?
If I come up missing, it won't take long for somebody to come up missing because, like I said, I'm everywhere.
Everywhere, exactly.
No, but yeah, Donovan is good people. And Charlie says, Demetra is correct, tearing the black woman down on her wig, her weave, or selling her body. But I never heard of a white man talk about a white woman's wig, weave, or selling her body. And selling her body. And white women does it all. I think he said does it all, and so does a black woman or something.
Yeah,
like
well, the white woman does it more so. They're in Playboy. They're in, they're selling their bodies on a constant basis. So I'm agree with that.
Yeah, and I agree with them too. I mean, I don't see it on. I can't really say that I see it ever. Black men, Asian men, or Mexican men, talking down on a woman. I don't see it. And Marcus says one of our biggest problems is we allow everything to sound good at the podium on paper. We gave way too much respect to our issues being song and raps. Waco action to change. Action to change things beyond that. We love to raise our fists, but we fear opening our hands to do the work concerning the issue that we raise our fists to. No, absolutely. Yeah, you can't just say black power and not actually do something.
Yeah, put action to words.
I actually love that analogy. I mean, it sounds good, but, what are we doing after we say that?
Right. And I think another reason why our black men do not defend our women or whatever is because we're at the bottom of the totem pole, economically and as socially. And we feel, and it's not an excuse, what I'm just saying, when the black woman put us out in the 70s or the system put us out of the system, we're displaced, so we feel we have no power. I mean, if we can't even control our own, which we can, but in general, because of the economics, we're like, well, what do we do?
We need to fix it because we don't have a choice,
That's right. So y'all get in line. Get in line. That's the first step.
I mean,
who's with me, fellas?
Like, we want reparations, and it's nice, but are we going to get it anytime soon?
Nope.
Probably not.
But nobody wants to vote for Andrew Yang.
Oh, yeah,
because he's giving $1,000.
And really start doing for ourselves. Stop being so damn I ain't going to say stupid, but you guys know what I mean. And Jonelle says, God is clearly forcing us to a state in which the Honorable Elijah Muhammad warned us about, and what the Honorable Minister asked us to do as a black nation within a white one, that is pull our resources by land, build, and do for self. Absolutely. Yes. That's what we're going to have to do. There is no magic pill.
We've got 13 years to turn this around.
And then you think about the flip side of it. We've been getting social services, if you will, since the 1930s, 40s. FDR ushered in that whole New Deal program, and it was partially to help black people. So that's what we've been under since the 1930s. Here we are in 2019.
And we are in a far worse situation.
It hasn't helped us.
Right.
You know, so to your point, Jonelle, the key is to do for self,
right.
You know?
At this point. I mean, do what everybody else is doing. If the social program is there, okay, fine. Take advantage of the social program, the FAFSA or all that other stuff you got to take advantage of. But why are you getting a loan for school or having your kids go into debt for all this school and then they don't graduate? We know there's all kinds of situations
right.
that happen. I'm talking about as a whole.
Right.
We've got to take advantage of the system to use it for our
use
advantages.
it actually for what it's for, and that's to, you know, pull yourself up,
right.
if you will.
If you're going to go to school, graduate. God dang it.
Charlie says Facebook needs to be ranked in because a lot of this missing is taking place due to Facebook and other social media.
Yes.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. It's used as a portal, if you will, a conduit to actually connect the people to be snatched.
Yes. Let me ask you guys this question real quick. When you go on these social media things, how many of us have relatives, cousins, and people that, you know, and don't get me wrong, they're on them and they're doing this. Or they're showing their body. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong. If you're an attractive person, that's fine. But we've got to start telling our young women and young men, hey.
Stop flossing for the internet and all of that.
Yeah. Your looks are going to fade.
Well, yeah, I mean, and not only that, you don't know who's watching.
Exactly.
You don't know who's watching you. There's somebody, you know, and a lot of times, too, this is another thing people come up missing. I think it's because we tell all our business.
All the business.
Ooh, I'm here. Ooh, I'm there. Ooh, I just left the house, y'all.
I'm taking a crap, y'all.
Right, or we taking pictures of our cars and we got the license plate on you know, social media. I mean, so there's a lot of things that we're doing that we're not aware of that you don't. I mean, hell, a lot of us got at least 1,000 people that we're friends with. So if you're friends with at least 1,000 people, you don't know all 1,000 people.
I do.
You probably do. But you're talking about all the things that you're doing, the places you're going. You don't know who's scoping you out and who has the capability to actually find you.
Yes. I have a lot of girl cousins. Don't get me wrong. And I know these girls have crushes on these guys and rappers or whatever it does. But I always, you know, tell them like that. Yeah, you're a pretty girl and stuff like that. But don't get starstruck.
Right.
So these uncles, male cousins, whoever you are, get into these girls and, you know, and tell them you're pretty. Yes, we agree.
But, you know, educate them, talk to them, right? So they don't, you know, have a sense of need to do those type of things. And Al says, I can't use beef stew as my Chase online password. It's not strong enough. Strong enough.
Good example right there. Executive producer Al Jackson. This guy has 2 daughters. 2 daughters. How do you do it, Al?
He needs a lot of Wheaties. And Al says too many black people come up missing because black people will drive past you walking and then call and ask, where were you going earlier?
Yeah.
Where were you going? I saw you earlier.
Exactly.
And Marcus says one of our biggest issues also is that we don't understand that black people are having the same problem everywhere that black people exist. True. But instead of supporting each other, we fight about... Dang it. We fight about who came from where and who belongs to what, instead of realizing we are just one people who need to be united if we are ever going to get a real leg up. And he's talking about the whole ADOS fight with Africans. Yeah. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, Marcus, I'm going to have to agree with you on that because in our trip to South Africa, the tribes are being destroyed the same way as the black families are being destroyed as the woman. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but she figures she is... you know, to herself, and it's destroying the tribe, which is the family. You know, she's like, I'm going to get my own stuff. You know,
and I would say this too. Like, I most of my female friends are black. You know, but I know black women who are single, and a lot of times they talk about it'd be nice to have somebody. You know. To help
976. I'm sorry. 976.
Donovan's offering his services, but you know, to have a companion, a male companion in the house to help with everything. You know, don't want to be lonely and all that other stuff.
Don't be lonely.
But I would say too, a lot of the black women. I'm not saying anything bad about black men, but a lot of the black women I know, you know, have been done real dirty.
But not all.
I didn't say all. I said a lot of black women I know have been done super dirty.
And the bad thing about that, I apologize for them being done dirty, but they also got to remember the next person that comes along isn't the person that did you dirty.
Right. No, I agree. And so Didi says again, likes and money are motives to success. Supposedly, yeah. Mm-hmm. And I heard that Instagram is as of next week taking the likes away.
Yes.
What will people do?
Yes.
And Jonelle says those that's in a state of dependency only are open to pray. Beggar has to deal with what's given. Mm-hmm. We've been in the state as a black nation from the slave ships till this present day. Elijah Muhammad said, the worst crime has been committed on us, for we've been robbed of the desire to even think and want to do for ourselves. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's the motivation to do for ourselves.
Yeah, we want somebody else to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
and when you depend on somebody else to feed you, you're going to starve.
Right, or eat what they give you, and it might not be what you want.
Exactly.
You know, and Pamela says, my sons travel with me for my jobs. Had to let them know, don't tell my business. Yeah, I mean, but how many times do you see that on social media? Mm-hmm. People telling I'm one of those people. I don't like to tell all my business because, for one, everybody's motives about you are not pure. You don't know who's looking to trip you up or whatever the case is. So I say as little about me on social media as possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not terribly a private person, but I don't think people should tell, okay, you know what, I'm going to the store right now. Okay, the store happens to be on the corner of this and that. Or, I just leave all my windows open. I go all day long.
Well,
Oh, and by the way, I live by myself.
Right, yeah. A good example, Dee gets a lot of solicitation from people from around the world that try to, get her attention.
Probably as most women do on social media.
But what I'm saying is, but because you're not putting all your information out there, you just don't know.
You have to be careful nowadays because with technology, people know how to find you. Yeah. People go on vacation.
White pages, all you got to is put the dress in.
Or how about when people go out to eat?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to the, Shayla Ritz over here. How do you know somebody, out to get you, and they gonna, find your ass at the restaurant?
Okay, it's a big blockbuster weekend. How many of you guys remember this scene? Sarah Connor's.
Oh, the Terminator.
Yeah. He just went to the thing, saw where she was at, and started terminating.
But. So that was years ago in this movie. Now you can do that. And the Terminator don't even need to try to He's like, oh, okay, she said she was over here. All right, that was 5 minutes ago. I'm going to go see if she's still there.
Yeah, right.
And because she got a big mouth when she leave there, she going to tell us where she going next.
And then I got a description of what she looks like.
All of that. Because she just took a picture of what she was wearing to go out to the restaurant.
Exactly.
Right. And then she was bragging about the kind of car she's driving. I mean, so it wouldn't be hard for somebody to find you.
Exactly.
And Dee Dee says, I agree, Dee. And then Al says, might I add that big baby, that's what he calls me. You sure fine mofo with some word, big word that is. Well, thank you. So anyway.
You two are characters.
And Arthur says, of course, you shouldn't tell your entire business, just like we as black people shouldn't put our business out there for others to know and comment, good or bad. It's a family affair. Yeah.
Exactly.
Remember when that used to be a thing? You put our business in the street.
Yes, but you'll be surprised. Like, I'll be at Twitter or something like that, and, you'll see somebody, and then, like, they'll click on me, and the girl's like, and she'll solicit me.
Right.
And I'm thinking, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right.
I'm like, oh, how, you think that, like, oh, maybe she's liking you back.
Right.
You're thinking, hey, how you doing? Hey, oh, well, it's going to be $50 for some pictures. Cash app. And
you said 1 moment. Give me 1 moment.
Yeah, hold on. Wait, what's Cash App? Where can I find that? No, but I mean that's what's going on, and it's just it's very sad because, like I said, to me the biggest thing that we have to really worry about, and I'm glad we brought this subject up: black wealth in 13 years. 13 years. If we're doing this now, what are we going to be doing as the countdown gets closer and closer?
Right. I mean, hell, this shit, we already working on year 12.
Right.
Right. In a couple
in 2
of
months. In 2 months.
And Tay says, I went out of town recently and no one knew because it's my business. I don't share my life on social media anymore.
Wrong. I knew Tay because I put a GPS on that car. I knew.
But those are the things we have to really start thinking about, because you don't know. I mean.
Exactly. And you got some people out here, mental illness, I don't care what anybody says, is very prevalent in the black community. It is very prevalent. It is. And you don't know what people are going to do.
Well, yeah, it's just not wise to tell everything.
Especially as a woman.
Like
especially as a woman.
move in silence. You know, you don't have to. But that's that need. That's that insatiable need that we have to tell everybody, "Ooh, I want."
I'm flossing.
I'm flossing. I'm
Look at
going
me.
here. I'm going there.
You know,
I'm doing
I think
this.
that-
I'm doing that.
I think the craziest pictures I've ever seen. Now, I was born in a country town. I'm talking about this town is so country that it's like a Twilight Zone episode. If you go back there, like you go back in time, it's still the way it was predominantly, right? I think it is so weird when I see these people from my home birth town, and they've got like the car with the nice rims. They got something, and you're thinking,
why you stealing their thunder, Donovan?
no. It's nice, but it's like you said, you know, we want to floss
because I want everybody to know that I got it.
But you actually, you know, you're okay. The birth town that I'm from, and some of my people, you know, it's like I know that the car costs more than where they live.
I know you.
Yeah.
And Pamela says, I saw the Terminator yesterday. Was it good?
No, I heard it was terrible.
I like the Terminator series.
I heard it was terrible.
Yeah, I haven't.
There hasn't been a real Terminator since Terminator 2. That's it.
That's probably the last one I saw.
Yeah, they closed it at that.
And then Arson is agreeing with Ate. And then Al says Winco has the best chicken ever. Case closed.
Yes, case closed.
Random.
Yeah.
And Pamela says, I had a stalker and that ass knew a lot. Have to be careful.
Yes.
Especially if they out to stalk you, they paying attention to everything you're doing.
Well, think about this too, especially you women. Not so much men, and I'm sorry it's like that. Okay, you're a nice, beautiful woman. Fast forward 25 years. Is this your mom that was on Instagram?
You silly.
No, but that's what's happening. And they're not thinking about what they're doing down the road.
Right. And Dee says narcissistic behavior. That's exactly what it is. Look at me. Right. It's all about me. I went to, and I got the new Popeyes chicken.
Yeah. There was an article I read online where they're talking about how these young people are, and Judge Mathis said something about it too, how they're recording themselves having sex. That's going to come back on you, and it never goes away. Once it's in that server, and you've shared it, it'll never go away.
Imagine going to a job interview and they says, Mr. Sadiq, hold on a second, and you hear the sound.
Yeah, I was like,
is this you?
I was like, yes, that's my best work. Matter of fact, fast forward. Let me show you. No, but in seriously, like let's say you want to get a government job or something that's very lucrative. We had a person who did a bank robbery 30 years ago. She figured that it was 30 years ago and it shouldn't matter.
Well, we didn't have her. We knew her lady.
What affects you, it affects your present. Your past affects your present. And so you don't know where you're going to be 25 years from now. Right. And then you can't get a security clearance because they see you over here with two dudes getting banged out, or whatever your situation is. So you young people, just real quick that are listening, stop videotaping yourself having relations.
Young people,
stop doing it. Stop doing it. Just use your mind and say, "Oh man, that was wonderful."
Right. And then Jonelle says, support Muhammad economic program to end poverty and want. Go to NOI.org or call 1-773-324-6000 or 1-866-602-1230 for more information. I will say that I do I donate to that every month, and I have probably for the last 2 years.
Yes,
it automatically comes out of my account.
Yes, there's a guest speaker going to be speaking at the Father's Day. He's a guest speaker. I saw the flyer. It's in Chicago during the Savior's Day.
Savior's Day?
Yeah, I think it's a guest speaker or somebody. I think it was on Muhammad's page. I think I saw it.
I have to check it out. Okay.
A flyer. So.
And then Pamela says, you're right, Donovan. It was not as good as the old movie.
Right. It was totally terrible. Basically, the new Terminator is a hashing of the first two.
Yeah, I haven't.
And they put them together. They got
two.
this little Mexican chick that's 5'1". I've read the review. I never saw the movie, but I've read the reviews on it. Everybody's saying the same thing. They've lost over $100 million. Oh, they lost over $100 million.
And they had Arnold Schwarzenegger in there?
But he had a small part.
I was about to say,
he had a small part. But it's basically the same Terminator movie over and over and over.
And
Dee
Dee says, it's all for likes and hits.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then Al says, Channel 2 here in Houston is celebrating 70 years, the first station to have black news anchors and reporters.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
And Tay says, I Google every single person I interview. I have turned away a few people due to social media, and people just don't realize that.
Okay, then Tay, get me in there since you know me.
And Marcus says, what is disheartening is that in this country, you could bring up a different topic every day for a year and never debate the same topic twice.
Yeah.
That says something about people who fight hard. Let's see.
Thailand.
People who fight hard to exist in a place where we are not fighting hard to really exist in. Yeah. Absolutely. There, especially on social media, there's always something.
And the sad thing about social media, as much as millions of people that are connected in the black media type stuff and whatever, nobody is ringing the alarm on our loss of wealth.
Well, because we too busy talking about stuff that's incidental and don't matter.
Megan Thee Stallion and Nicki Minaj,
all of that. But they all right though. They got their money.
Exactly.
When we talk about overall though, and then Jonelle says. Women need to take up some form of self-defense classes and keep a little weapon on them. Know how to defend yourself from fools. Yes. I tell you what, I know how to do all the above.
And that's a good point, Jonelle. However, though, unfortunately, as a military man, do you want to know why they never really wanted women in combat?
Why?
Women are vicious fighters. Talking about mutilating and, you're out there. You guys are like vicious.
My dad used to always tell us as kids, there's no such thing as a fair fight.
Yes. Women are vicious.
You bite, you scratch, you do whatever you got to do.
Cutting off nuts, and things. I mean, women are very, very vicious fighters. And that's one of the reasons why they were excluded from the military.
You would think that'd be a reason to have them in there.
Yeah, frontline fighting and stuff.
And Al says, y'all need some ominous music played in the background. Yeah, okay.
But I really do think that everybody listening and the podcast people, you really got to start talking about this wealth gap because it's getting greater.
And you know what? And to that point, I want to start talking about that more because we really, really, this is like...
it's scaring the hell out of me. I'm going to be okay. Because I got a government check. That's my only saving grace.
Right.
That's my only saving grace.
We gonna be okay because I'm gonna be over here with my bags.
Well, you saw Deanna just her daughter comes over and plucks my pomegranate tree. I see where y'all going.
It was good too. Yeah, she practiced it. Okay. She said, "I'm gonna go to the door and see. I'm gonna ask him and see what he says." Right. So we passed.
Yeah. Look. She went to the backyard and got it because the ones in the front weren't ripe yet.
And Dee Dee says, I can too, D. They don't want no smoke. Absolutely. You got to learn how to protect yourself. Yeah. I carry me a little something, and I've known how to defend myself, self-defense-wise, for a very long time.
And I'm going to say as a karate man myself, they call me...
Black Belt Jones.
Yeah, a Toothless Jones, my character. Women, if you're going to have weapons on you, because you guys are overly aggressive, do not do more than you need to do.
Because gouge out your eyes.
Yeah, you stab the guy. Next thing you know, you're getting charged for murder. You know what I mean? When you could have just... Hey,
I went black.
Right, yeah. Just hit him in the leg. Don't hit that artery.
No, because when I was taught in self-defense, they said you don't want to hurt them. You want to take them.
Oh no, absolutely,
you want to take them
absolutely.
Down.
But in our litigious society, you got to think about that in the civil case.
Sued than dead.
Right.
Okay.
In the civil case. So.
And Al says, let me make sure I got all the... Al says, I was in Walmart today and I saw this black lady crying. She told me she had lost $200. So I gave her $40 and the $200 that I found in the store. When God bless you, you have to bless others.
Yes.
And Marcus says, and one of the things that is really going south now is this housing hollering to the abuse our black children by police officers and killing our black people by police officers. We are getting comfortable with the same way we got comfortable with teen pregnancy, which is still an issue along with HIV and other things.
It is.
Those are the things we need to be talking about. I absolutely agree. And Jonelle says women should be tough. They got a movie coming out about a women warrior from India, but all women, young and old, should be able to give a good account for themselves. Don't make nothing easy. Kill the damn predator, play no games. That's what I was taught. It's easy. Sue me. It's hard to sue a corpse. You know what I mean?
Well, the guy's dead, but I'm just saying.
I'm saying it's hard to sue me if I'm dead. I'd rather be sued alive, you know?
Right.
And Pamela says, I'm popping out eyes. Sorry. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay? I want you to show up to court like, I want you to be hollering for help. That reminds me of
You're gonna be on that new court show.
That's all right. Personal injury court. That reminds me of a story I saw. As a black lady said an intruder broke into her house. She was an older lady too. Broke into her house, and he told her he wanted her to give him oral favors.
Right.
And so she said she played along with it. It was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So she said he, kneeled above her. No, she said she grabbed everything
and ripped it out. She needs to be put under the jail.
She grabbed everything. She said she was just twisted.
She needs to be put under the jail.
She was twisting for dear life. Said she was just ringing and ringing and ringing.
That's not right.
What?
That's not right.
She broke into her house.
He's a victim now.
And so
I'm
she said that he kept passing out.
Yes.
And when he would come to talk about, please, lady, I'm sorry. Call the police. Call the police.
It's true. Some guys are.
So she said she did. She called the police, let him go because she still had it. Let him go, and he got away. She shot him in the ass on the way out.
There you go.
So,
there you go.
But they ended up catching her. Yeah. But she was like, "Nah, son, not me."
In local news, real quick, how many of you guys have heard the ordinance that they've just enacted, or they're going to be enacting in Las Vegas?
What's that ordinance?
The homeless ordinance, to where that if you are homeless, they're going to fine you now $1,000.
Great. Now, hold on. Let me just dig in my bag and get you $1,000.
Exactly. That's what everybody's saying. Because they said that, okay, I guess they have like 3,000 homeless beds. They said the only reason that, you could be homeless is if the beds are filled every night, which they are. There's like 11,000 homeless.
Yeah, like where are you going to...
In Las Vegas. But it's $1,000 fine. Because what it is,
what it
is that they want to clean up that area so the developers can come in and
not
gentrify
only that. Hell, if they go to jail, what's that? Prison labor.
Exactly.
And then Pamela says, if you come for me wrong, move. Right. Absolutely. And Tay says, nah, I'm gonna fillet someone. Come at me, you're gonna lose. Yeah. There is no let me just go and just
Well,
stop.
I'd have to be really cautious with Tay because, she has her, she was raised with her mother and her father and her sisters and stuff. So, when woman's got her father in there,
we know how to fight.
Exactly.
And then Charlie says the wealth gap in most blacks have never heard these stats. Well,
exactly.
We do. And you know what? You're right. Because a lot of times when I'm having conversations with our people,
they're like, huh?
Really?
Yeah, they're like, what?
Yeah. In less than 13 years, we are going to be flat.
I asked them about the wealth gap. I said, just give me a number. You know what they told me? They thought the average black person's wealth is about $60,000.
$15,000 is the average black wealth
but
of black
where
people.
would you get $60,000? If we all had $60,000, we wouldn't be in some of the neighborhoods and the conditions we're in.
Okay, and opposed to that of 170 for white households.
Right.
And Marcus says, show you how serious Facebook is watching our conversation. Laugh out loud. I'll check what I posted before I posted it. And somehow it was autocorrected to say something else. Wow.
See, didn't I tell you my autocorrect? It seems like now every time I do something, it messes up. It posts and I'm like...
They're like, no, you didn't mean to say that.
Yeah, I didn't post that.
You want to say this.
Yeah, I didn't post that.
And Al says, my friend dad told his daughter's boyfriend, if you hit or steal my money, I will F you dead. All right.
Skull F them to death.
Okay. So anyway, you guys, I don't see any more comments, and we are just about
we got 5 more minutes.
out of town. We got 5 minutes. You guys, is the time change jacking you up too?
It's jacking me up pretty much.
I've been going to bed at like 6:30, 7 o'clock.
That ain't nothing new for you.
Right. And I'm like tired.
Yeah.
Like
we're getting old.
Alice called me the last 3 nights, and I haven't answered. He's probably like, okay. This chick is out here doing something.
No, Al, what it is Dee has been tired ever since she's come back from Houston. I wonder why.
Jet lag. And Marcus says, and not only are we among the missing at a high rate, no one is talking about the back then. We are the largest race of people who come up missing, only to be found without organs missing. Yeah, that's what I said earlier. I want to do a little bit more research on that. It is a fact that a lot of us that have been found, the organs are missing. And they're not just dissolving or just vanishing out of thin air. Something is going on where they are harvesting our organs, and nobody's like, we raise hell, but we don't raise hell and take action.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and that's what we need to do.
Yep.
And Alan says, good show. I work a lot. to follow, but I will try to more often.
Hey,
well, thank you. We appreciate you.
Pamela, let me give you some advice. All our shows are archived on the Demetra K Show. You can go check it out over there. You can check it out on News from the Edgemont. All of them are archived there. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio. You name it, we're on there. Just put in the Demetra K Show, and you're going to see all the shows listed.
Absolutely. And so anyway, I don't see any more comments. We will be back here next Friday.
And if you guys get a chance, I'm going to be talking about on the Donovan Sadiq Show later on this week, probably Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about the wealth gap and the Kamala Harris debacle. Real quick, to give you a heads up, we got 5 minutes anyway. Let's talk about Kamala Harris real quick.
Let me get this last comment.
Go ahead.
And Charlie says they want to find the homeless $1,000, but hashtag Andrew Yang 2021 wants to give every American 18 years old and older $1,000 universal basic income. But they say how? Where the money comes from? Social media, billionaires that pay no taxes.
Yes.
That pay no taxes. Absolutely. People like Jeff Bezos with Amazon and all of that.
Maybe if we stop these endless wars. Think about all the money we've thrown away in
the money is
the
there.
war.
The money is there.
That we could have spent right here in the United States.
And Al says, I do wonder why she is tired since she came back from here because...
That ain't what Dee told me. Go. She said she was coming down from the chandelier.
Go ahead.
Are you been lying to me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Go. Okay, anyway.
Go ahead.
Senator Kamala Harris. Now, remember when she announced her campaign, it was 20,000 people. It was the second coming of Obama. Oh, it's a woman. Yes. Those who watch Married with Children, Kamala Harris reminds me of Marcy Darcy in... Married with Children.
Married with Children.
In Married with Children. just a total man hater, right? She started her career as a side chick with Willie Brown, all this stuff like that. Now, when she was a so-called top-tier candidate and Tulsi Gabbard came for her fellow Indian sister, woman of color.
You just had to go there.
I had to go there.
You had to go there.
Kamala was like, well, yes, I'm a top-tier candidate, whatever. This woman's polling at, she's number 5 in the race, and she's polling at 5%. She went from 17% to 5%. Now, if you watch today and you've been following her, she has now gone to the thing of saying America is not ready for a woman of color to be president. Now she's using the race card. Right. Now she's using the race card. The problem with Kamala Harris, real quick, and you can come to my show, is the fact that she has nothing. Platform-wise or anything. Andrew Yang's got ideas.
But why do you think she came out with nothing? When she first came out, I know the answer. I know you know, but why didn't she come out with a platform?
Because she already had the black vote.
As we say a lot, she was resting on pretty.
Resting on pretty.
I'm the second. I've heard people say that about Kamala even before she announced that she was the second coming of Obama. She was Obama, 2.0 or whatever the case is. And so she came out with that, and she didn't have a real platform.
Right. And then guess who her donors were? She was a Hillary-picked person. She met with Hillary donors, and then Tulsi came for her with the knives, and now she's using the excuse of...
Yeah, after Tulsi ate her lunch and she couldn't come back.
Yeah, now she's using the excuse that we're not ready for a black woman. Wait a minute. Hillary Clinton was nominated.
Well... Kamala underestimated black people. And that's what I would say to you guys. I want to say this to piggyback off of what I was saying. I get you guys' comments. Is black people, despite all the despair we hear about, we are really starting to wake up. Because look at the impact that we are having on people and things. Take the Harriet movie. We talked about that Friday.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
A lot of people saying, some people saying the movie was successful. It wasn't successful. It could have been more successful when black people band together and said, not on our watch. We got somebody like Kamala, who, will not be a successful candidate. The only thing I would say about that is, we're good at taking down our own. We need to also get good at taking down the oppressor, especially when it is when we're concerned. We need to get good at doing it all.
Right. Amy Klobuchar talked about Pete Buttigieg. Now, this guy's a mayor, right? A very ineffective mayor, by the way. She's saying now, well, would he be number 3? Because he's number 3 in the polls right now. They're saying, would he be number 3, because he's a man? If I was a woman...
I'm going to tell you why he's number 3. And Byron Allen actually touched upon this on an interview that I saw. He says that gay people, which, Buttigieg is, he's gay, they raise a lot of hell.
Yes.
And they don't stop until they get what they want.
And they are financially secured.
So that's why I believe that Buttigieg is in
the
position he's in, because gay people band together and they don't quit. I mean, hell, everything they wanted pretty much, they've gotten it passed.
Right.
So that's why, it's partially why he's successful.
But, but it's funny how they use the feminine card. It's like these movies. You're not going to convince anybody by playing the victim. Show us some policies. Show us what you're going to do for us.
Right.
Extending the school year 3 hours for people that you locked up for truancy.
I wouldn't send my child to school that long.
So, Kamala, come up with something a little bit better.
She's done.
Yeah, she's pretty much
24 maybe.